Hello everyone, welcome back to my math tutorials. This is geometry part 3, and we're going to go over scaling, isosceles, and equilateral triangles. Please make sure to like and subscribe as well as share online with your friends. And if you need help with any math tutoring, please contact Maheen. So without further ado, let's begin. So this question is pretty interesting in my opinion. A triangle has a measure of its angles as 70 degrees, 60 degrees, and 70 degrees. What is this type of triangle? Is it a scaling triangle, equilateral triangle, a triangle that does not exist, or an isosceles triangle? Now, let me quick pull up a visual example in order to fully explain what a scaling, equilateral, and isosceles triangle is, and what type of degrees they might have. So, let's quickly go over what an equilateral, isosceles, and a scaling triangle is. So to start off with, an equilateral triangle will always have three sides that are of equal measure. So, example, this could be 60 degrees, this could be 60 degrees, and this could be 60 degrees, but it all adds up to 180. An isosceles triangle has any two sides that are of equal measure. So these two sides can be equal, however, this side may not be equal to the other two sides. That will make an isosceles triangle. A scaling triangle, however, is a little bit more confusing because all three sides will always be of a different measure. And because all three sides will be a different measure, that means it will look a little bit more uneven than an isosceles or an equilateral triangle will look like. However, the golden rule you'll always have to take into account is that whether you're dealing with an equilateral triangle, an isosceles triangle, or a scaling triangle, this rule always applies in that each particular triangle will always add up to 180 degrees. Just like in the previous lesson, almost every triangle will always add up to 180 degrees. So, with that in mind, let's go back to the original question. A triangle has the measure of its angles as 70 degrees, 60 degrees, and 70 degrees as well. So what is this type of triangle? Is it a scaling triangle, equilateral triangle, or an isosceles triangle? Well, if you take a quicker look at those degrees, and if you were to add them up, you will see that it doesn't really add up to 180 degrees, but it adds up to slightly more than 180 degrees. So, for example, I know 70 plus 70 equals 140, which will only lead to about 40 degrees left in order to complete a 180 degree angle. Well, a 180 degree triangle, obviously, because, every triangle adds up to 180 degrees. But 70, 60, and 70, that doesn't sound right to me. So I think the answer for this one is this triangle does not exist.